Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Ready to Love, season whatever, episode whatever. Child, I cannot remember. Okay, how unprofessional of me. Anywho, if you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Child, let's forget about all that. Let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, we're still waiting to hear who was chosen. They only had 2 envelopes, okay? And Susu, go on ahead and head to the house, child. Sue-Ann was not ready to love. Blake, you can go and leave now too, sir. Okay? Catch her. Okay? Catch her before she gets outside. So they were all saying bye to Sue-Ann. They were hugging child like they were at a funeral. I was like, she gonna be all right. Okay? It's a blessing in disguise. So Tommy tells them the power has been shifted back to the women. At this point, what are we deliberating on? Blake is the obvious choice. And I'm not saying that because we say that every week, honey, but I'm saying it because he has no other connections outside of Sue-Ann. It's either Blake or Lyndon, one or the other. So Sue-Ann leaves and Morgan and Cynthia are cooking, right? So everybody's just, rallying around after Sue-Ann leaves. And Tony is looking and acting all possessive, talking about, yeah, I'm ready to eat. What y'all cooking? Yeah, Morgan knows I love to eat. I was like, ew. So Linden said that he feels like she's been avoiding him because Tony is making her uncomfortable. And that is absolutely what it is. Okay, that is absolutely what it is. But the crazy part about it is that if Marcia, whose name has been mentioned umpteenth times, I mean, he has literally, Marcy. I mean, he's been mentioning it in every single scene. If Marcia was still here, hey girl, if she were still there, he would not even be worried about what's going on with Morgan because you know what? A, he would be trying to make her jealous by paying extra attention to Marcia, although she deserves the attention. And number 2, his ego would not be getting in the way because he would have something else to focus on. And he ain't fooling me. So anywho, Andre and Cynthia, they sneak a little alone time. They're over in the corner. They're talking. Mercedes and Anthony are poolside and they're talking. So Mercedes tells him that he's too put together for her. She's like, I'm a liability over here. I'm just not, where I should be as far as what you need from me. She's like, I don't have the reciprocity that you deserve. Now, I appreciate her telling him the real, but Mercedes seems a bit immature. As I'm watching her through these episodes, she just seems a little bit immature because what if every man on here had kids? Are you like really ready to love? It's not making any sense to me because we all know that the people that come on these shows, well, they are supposed to be well established, i.e. ready to love. Okay, so I'm just confused as to why you would come on a show and then make a connection with the man, but continue to say how you're not ready for what he's ready for. Now that Mercedes has let Anthony go, he's focusing on Cynthia. So he and Cynthia are in the pool and they're talking about their connections. So Anthony comes up out of the water, honey, looking like a synchronized chocolate dipped swimmer. Do you hear me? And comes up to Cynthia and they share their first kiss. Now, this kiss was definitely not giving cringe. It was giving that Cynthia was a little bit shy, like, oh, no. But she did let him kiss her and whatnot. But I thought that was so cute. He stole that little sweet kiss. And he did say that they both agreed that they wouldn't kiss until they decided who they were leaving with. And at first I was thinking, well, why did you do that when you knew that she wasn't sure? I guess he was trying to solidify that he was sure about her. But I mean, you ain't got no choice. Mercedes let you go. And Mercedes gonna give somebody the pink slip in a minute if she don't do nothing else. I feel like it's for the best because Andre is infatuated with Jeffrey. So go ahead and get your woman. I actually think they look nice together. I was like, these two are really doing it for me. Like I finally saw a spark of hope in a couple. I don't know. They just looked cute, honey. I might be by myself, but they looked cute. In the next scene, Blake decides to leave the getaway early because Sue-Ann is gone home. So he's telling the guys, I'm going to just get on out of here. Okay. Ain't nothing in here for me. I'm going to go. He said he needs to figure out what's next. What's next? What's next is for you to be on the I-10 by 10. Good day, sir. Moving forward. So they're all in the kitchen. And so Tony is like, how everybody feel about Blake leaving? So this was so funny to me, y'all. Jeffrey was taking something out of the oven, right? And he said, Jeffrey, how you feel about Blake leaving? She said, sorry, I'm handling heat right now. Something is wrong with her. Oh, child, I'm sorry, y'all. That was so funny to me. That voice coupled with her saying she's handling heat. Baby, that was good to me. That girl said, I'm sorry, I'm handling heat right now. Baby, that had me in stitches. I don't care what y'all say, baby. That was funny to me. Moving forward. So they get a knock on the door. And it's a note from Tommy telling them to make candles for each other. So they're going to break up into groups. It's Tony, Jeffrey, and Anthony in one group. They're making candles for each other. Jeffrey is giving very much ditzy blonde. Tony is giving, I can't focus on nothing but Morgan in that dress. Okay. And outside of that, it's just Anthony. And he just going to go ahead and do it, honey, because they don't know what's going on. So since Tony is outside, Morgan sneaks in to talk to Linden. Do you see how this is going? You have to sneak to talk to Linden. Side note, honey. Morgan, you and Cynthia in those dresses? Baby, honey, they had me second guessing everything. I said, wait a minute now. Baby, they was looking good in those dresses. I said, okay. See, that's why Morgan thinks she can get away with everything, honey, wearing them dresses. She ain't fooling me. Morgan, get yourself together, girl. But, baby, they was looking good in those dresses. I said, yes, black queens, honey, y'all better look good in y'all clothes. So, anywho, she sneaks in to speak to Lyndon. He's, feeling like, I don't think Morgan knows that she hurt me. Like, she's been really acting funny. So, he says to her straight up, he said, I didn't think that the dinner was going to be me getting into it with somebody. I mean, I knew some things were going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to be me. This girl says, I know, but it was kind of hot. Oh, so you liked it. And we knew that you liked it. I knew when you were falling all over that floor when they were pretending to play love and basketball, but it was really a fool in a pool table, that you were happy that they were doing that and fighting over you. Girl, grow up. So anywho, he tells her that he really doesn't appreciate her acting funny with him. He's like, I'm not a child. And I felt like that's the way you were treating me. And I didn't like the way you treated me the other day. So Linden said, I feel like he's trying to control you and I'm not going to control you. And she was like, no, I know you would never do that. So then he tells her, he said, Tony is bad for you. Like, he's a bad guy. He's just bad for you. And Linden, you don't have to tell her that. She knows this. She's like, well, I mean, I see red flags, but I still want to give him a chance to fix his mistakes. Girl, didn't he come in and shut you down by telling you, men say plenty of things when we mad. You don't understand as a woman. What other grace are you going to give him? Like, why? Don't try to paint the flags orange. So she feels torn in between the two. Okay, LaToya Luckett, moving forward. So Lyndon tells her, I can't go through this wondering what's going on. Are you going to choose me or not? And she was like, well, I just can't make a decision yet. Girl, we are at the end of the road. I'm really ready for y'all to wrap this up right now tonight. We don't have time for this. This is giving Jason and Kyra and Liz. Who are you going to choose? Quit wasting this man's time. I knew that she didn't like Lyndon like that from the very beginning. It was all a ploy and a plot and a scheme that Todd set up to come at us with the bush. Okay, you were trying to make Tony jealous and you succeeded. Now you got a crazy on your hands and you don't know what to do with it. So whatever back and forth you and Tony have and you like it, honey, if you like it, I love it. Lyndon would be too even keel for her. I don't think it would work. She likes the excitement of what Tony does. She thinks that mess is cute and it's not. So Lyndon is like, well, I already know that she knows who she's choosing. I'm not buying that she has to think about it. Well, at least you know. In the next scene, Morgan comes out to do the candles with Mark Anthony and Cynthia. So she's over there and she's trying to get the lavender to pour and she's having a hard time. So then she starts to cry about hurting Lyndon's feelings. So in her confessional, she said, I just realized that I hurt his feelings and Tony is making a fool out of me. Well, it's good to see you at least felt something and you've been made a fool of, but what are you going to do? Are you going to be a fool in love or just a fool and gone on about your business? So Cynthia sees that she's upset, takes her in the room so they can talk about it. And so Morgan is like, I'm just struggling with my feelings for Lyndon. And so Cynthia straight up asked her, she said, well, what do you have going on with Tony? Like, how does he treat you when he's upset? Because, that's my biggest thing. And she was like, no, he doesn't treat me well. So for whatever reason, outside, Mark Anthony tells Tony that Morgan was crying. So he goes barging in talking about, you good? Mark Anthony, why did you even tell him that? See, that's what I'm saying. You give childish as well. He didn't need to know that. That had absolutely nothing to do with him. Now, maybe you could argue, well, he knows that that's her connection. So he was just trying to let him know that Morgan was a little bit upset. No. Okay, we've all seen how he's reacted throughout this entire getaway. Leave him alone. So he comes in. He's like, you good? She's like, yeah, I'm okay. He said, like, really? She said, do you want to come in and talk about it? Or what do you want? Like, Tony, what are you doing? So he slams the door and walks off. I'm sure Cynthia is sitting there like, and this what you think makes sense? This is what you want. The two of them are going to be hell on wheels when they get together. Do you hear me? They are going to be hell on wheels. Y'all know who they remind me of? Y'all remember Sarah Stokes from Making the Band and her husband? That's what this gives me. It gives me Sarah Stokes and her husband. I think his name might have been Chris from Making the Band. If you don't know who that is, child, that relationship right there, baby, that was the first taste of a fool on TV that I ever did see. So anywho, Tony has made this all about him somehow. Sir, this has nothing to do with you. So Tony goes in to talk to Andre, and he's like, she in there crying. Like, what is she crying about? Do you know? And he's trying to tell him that she feels bad that she hurt Lyndon. So Tony is like, well, as a man from the outside looking in, something is wrong with that picture. You in the room crying over a man for 2 hours? And I was thinking, it's been 2 hours? Oh, no wonder, no wonder Mark Anthony pointed him in that direction. Honey, he been searching for her around the house for 2 hours. I was like, I think he just exaggerating though. He said he feels like she likes two men fighting over her. And if she want him, then he'll just go ahead and go home. Okay, so two things can be true. You can leave. Okay, you can definitely go. And she's definitely liking two men fighting over her. But where you gonna go? Because you rode with Andre. So therefore, and thus and such, you gonna be there till it's time to leave. But yeah, she definitely likes two men fighting over her. She's having an internal battle that, I mean, it's like she should be attracted to the nice guy, but she likes the loose cannon. Morgan, if y'all doing all this already, what is the future going to look like? This is definitely not a relationship that will be healthy enough for a marriage. Let me tell you what ignoring red flags can do. Many of you that have watched my channel probably wonder why I do my channel this way, or you may not. Because now there are a lot of faceless channels. There are a lot of people who are using, avatars and this, that, and this and that. But I happen to be behind this screen because of a fool. And I ignored that first red flag and I painted it orange just like Morgan is doing. Okay, so I'm saying all that to say I'm not trying to project what I went through onto her, but I'm just seeing some of it as a flashback. Like once you see it, you have to take heed to what it is. And more than one person has said this. And we're going to get into that in a minute. Moving forward. So after all that's said and done, they're having a pajama party. And child Jeffrey tried to make a grand entrance, but it didn't get a zhuzh for me. I was like, girl, what is happening, honey? Okay. So Cynthia said, I was kind of shocked when Jeffrey came out, but whatever she needs to do to get the attention. I know I'm sexy. I know that's right, honey. You don't have to try too hard when it comes natural. I know that's real. It is something about having natural sex appeal that will always appeal to a man. You can be butt naked and then you can have someone standing next to you fully clothed. It's something about sex appeal that you exude. It's not in the clothing. But go ahead, Jeffrey, set yourself off. So they all looking for Tony, but he in there hiding. He was really in there sleeping. They was like, child, let's just do what we got to do. He is too emotionally unstable for me. Like it's just too much. It's too much energy. This is supposed to be something fun where we go, we hang out, we have a good time, we come on back, we choose, we hit a theme song and sing. Not all this. This is too much. So Morgan is excited that she got just a second away from Tony. Girl, if you are excited about having a second away from Tony, then that is not the man that you need to be with. They sit down to exchange candles. Jeffrey made a candle named The Biblical Husband. It was for Andre. Now, what about Andre and his Yankee Doodle cap gives you biblical husband? Oh, Andre, don't think I ain't see that feather in your hat. Stuck a feather in his hat and called him macaroni. I saw it. Child, I saw it. What about him makes you think he's a biblical husband? She's like, yeah, it's just a deeper connection other than surface. Girl, you heard he was in that Forbes magazine. You went and hopped on the Googler and saw how he was making the ends meet and you want him to meet you. a little bit later. And you ain't fooling me. So Mark Anthony made a candle for Mercedes. It was called Sweet Brown Sugar. Jeffrey did not like that. She was like, I think it's kind of funny that he's making a candle for his other connection. Well, girl, you've been kissing Andre in the mouth ever since he came back. So what you want him to do? He said he chose mango because it's sweet like her. So then, of course, she made one for him as well. It was called Mr. Handsome. I thought that was cute. I was like, oh, look at the little high schoolers. So Anthony made a candle for Cynthia called Thinking of You. And so, baby, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all who got game. Cynthia. Cynthia made a candle for both Anthony and Andre. Cynthia, okay, just a word. Please let Andre in his Yankee Doodle cap have Jeffrey. Let him have her. So she looks at Anthony and she goes, yeah, I gave you a candle called Coffee because, I want to wake up to you every day. So then here go Jeffrey. What's happening here? Because there's another one for Andre. That damn Jeffrey. Oh, honey. Cynthia said, I made that for him. It's made from peppermint and roses. I want to give you your flowers. Baby, she said she wanted to give him his flowers. So everybody looking around like, say what now? Anthony gonna say, oh, I didn't know we could make two. Oh, but I need to make me two. Who you gonna give it to? Your mama. Because Mercedes and I already said she don't want nothing to do with you. And Sue Ann is on the I-10. So who you gonna give it to? Oh, okay. So Anthony was not feeling that. He was pissed. And Cynthia in her confessional, she was like, he is so upset that I made that candle for Andrea. I'm sorry. Yes, girl, don't lose your man messing around with Andre, okay? Andre also made one for Cynthia and Jeffrey. So Linden made a candle for Morgan with 2 wicks because she has 2 flames. I thought that was so cute. I said, okay, Linden, you earned a point with that one. Like I said, Morgan was happy that she got a break from Tony. And Mercedes suggested everybody get up and let loose. Like, let's just have some fun. So everybody's up, they're dancing, having a good time. And all I could think of is, please don't let Tony come out that room and Lyndon and Morgan are over there dancing. They pan to his room and he is knocked out. I'm talking about sleep and snoring. In the next scene, it's the next day. And so Morgan and Tony, they're talking before they get ready to leave the getaway. So he apologized for putting her in that situation. And she's like, you need to decide if you're going to put in the work. He's talking about, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do just that. Sir, please spare me. Morgan, if you believe that, I don't know. Girl, I don't believe it. That's all I'm going to tell you. So she asked him why he should be the man in her life. Why are you even asking so you can hear more lies? Why are you even asking him that? He said, well, I feel like we share a spiritual connection. I'm a giver and a protector, and I want to help you grow and lead you in the right direction. I wouldn't let him lead me nowhere. And I do mean not nowhere. And please stop saying that y'all have a spiritual connection when there has been nothing but chaos and confusion. God is not the author of confusion. But anywho, sir, you and your Bible and you and your prayer is a lie. Moving forward. So she makes an excuse for him, talking about, of course, when it's just me and him, he's the nurturer that I need. And I mean, it worked. He's crazy about me. Girl, it's looking like he's just crazy, but allegedly. Child, people don't possess you, Morgan. They don't possess you. They can only experience you. Like, what are y'all going to do in the real world? If y'all acting like this right now in the Ready to Love world, what are y'all going to do after the theme song goes off? This is crazy. By the reunion, it's going to be some crazy stuff coming out. I can already bet that it is going to be some mess at that reunion. Girl, you don't want to be on edge every time a man speaks to you when he's present. Like, this just wasn't just about Linden. It's bigger than that. But again, if you like it, I love it. In the next scene, Blake meets with Tommy and he's asking if the journey taught him anything. And he said it did. And since Sue Ann has left, he thinks it's best for him to leave as well. And I agree with that because, of course, you're going to be in the bottom. And, of course, you're going to go home. So just go ahead on out now. It's at least one every season. Good luck and Godspeed. I wonder if he called Susu on the way home. Child, she probably ain't heard from him since. Over on the other side of town, Mercedes and Mark Anthony, they go on a date. I mean, they cute or whatever. It was cute. So they're playing two truths and one lie. Mercedes says she's allergic to apples, she participated in pageants, and she's been proposed to. The proposal was a lie. His was he got caught having sex in the library at college, he almost lost his eye in a fight, or he almost died of hypothermia at camp in the 6th grade. So she thought that the camp thing was a lie, but it was actually the truth. The lie was the library. He said he did do it, but he didn't get caught. Now I have a question for y'all. Do these two ever talk about anything real? Like, I feel like I'm watching a high school date. Like, do they ever get to know each other on another type of like, I'm confused. So in the confessional, Mercedes goes, the hypothermia thing, that's no joke. Like, I'm just happy to see that he was showing me his vulnerable side. Girl, what? Me telling you what happened to me one time at band camp, that's what that story gave me. Now, don't get me wrong. Hypothermia is real because we went through the winter storm over here in Texas in February of 2021. So I totally understand. But I don't feel like that was him being vulnerable. You decided to play a game, and so he threw it in there to figure out if you could figure out if it was a lie or the truth. So Mercedes looks directly at him, and she tells him, although they had other connections, she wants to know if he's looking for something more serious. Y'all know how Mark Anthony gets to leaning back. He's like, well, I mean, I'm not looking to get married tomorrow, but, you know, I'm looking for something serious. Oh, no, ma'am. I don't like the way he led with that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Well, I'm not looking to get married tomorrow. The only reason why it's okay is because I feel like Mercedes is dating just to date. Because what is the end goal? He and Mercedes are a good match, but neither one of them want a real commitment. I don't think that either one of them are ready for something real. That's just my opinion. They look great together. They really do. They are a very aesthetically pleasing couple, but I don't think that the two of them are doing anything other than playing games all day. This is crazy. So in the confessional, Mark Anthony said, although he really is feeling Mercedes, he's still leaning toward Jeffrey. For what? Jeffrey is looking for a father figure for her kids. Are you ready for that? Oh, okay. Moving forward. In the next scene, Tommy and the ladies meet up at the church, honey, because that ain't no lounge. And he tells them that Blake left the process since Sue-Ann is gone. Child, they don't care. So Jeffrey gonna say in her confessional, that's a cop-out. Girl, hush. You don't even like that man. If he didn't leave, you would have voted him out anyway. Let him go. So Tommy, of course, asked who the women are feeling. Cynthia said Anthony. She said that, you know, they promised that they wouldn't kiss anybody until they found out that that person was the one, and the two of them kissed. But with Andre, they connect in a different way. So here comes Jeffrey. Baby Jeffrey pipes up. And she's like, same with me. We're so passionate. It's just like a different level. Jeffrey is in constant competition. You don't have to do that. If he likes you, then he likes you. She was like, yeah, and with Mark Anthony, like both of us, you know, we just had this connection. So in her confessional, she said both of her connections actually have other connections as well, but she will win. Okay, so do you want a man or do you want to win? Okay, it sounded like Tony. I feel like you people on here just want to win. So then Tommy asked who they weren't feeling. Mercedes said Andre, and Cynthia said, I'm not feeling Lyndon. Not because he's not a good guy, but because I'm tired of seeing him hurt. And Tony, because I pay attention to how a man treats a woman when he's mad. And he said that if Marcia was still here, then Linden could have Morgan. So Tommy looks at Morgan and goes, did he say that? Now, one thing I appreciated about Cynthia is she was trying to save Morgan in this moment. She really was. She was trying to save Morgan, but Morgan did not bite the bait. So when Tommy asked if he said that, Morgan said, yeah. So then she starts making more excuses. And she's like, but this is an unorthodox situation, so I'm giving him grace. No matter what the situation, that's his personality. That's how he behaves. So even if you take him out of this situation and put him in a real life one, he's still going to behave the exact same way. It just is what it is. And just say you're used to the toxic and don't know how to break free from it. It's okay. Sometimes you just have to accept that your picker is off. And that's what's happening over here. So even Tommy was like, Morgan, how many red flags do you have with Tony? Child, they trying to tell you. So she counted 2, but honey, it's at least 15. So then he asked about Lyndon, and she brought up that he's in the nightlife and, he's not where he should be. To be honest, this may be an unpopular opinion. I'm not sold on either one of them. Tony isn't suitable to be dating anybody. And Linden is a nice guy, but he's not ready for anything serious. Linden's station in life is not conducive to a relationship that's going to progress at this point, especially for someone who wants kids and who wants to get married. So for me, I wouldn't choose either one of them. And like I said, it's not because Lyndon is not a nice guy, because he actually is a nice man. And he's very respectful. He communicates well. It's just that certain things that are a part of his life would not match for someone that wants something more serious. So Tommy tells her that he's worried about the flags and if she's letting something good go. So Morgan is saying, I deserve to give Lyndon a fair shot, but I also deserve to see what's going on with Tony. So Tommy tells Morgan, listen, okay, because I ain't got time to play with you. It's your job to see if you want Lyndon to stay or if he's not ready to love. So Morgan and Lyndon meet up for a date. Okay, he sits down and she's like, let me tell you what I need. I need a man, I need a protector, and I need a provider. So Lyndon is wondering why she thinks Tony is that man. He feels like Tony is just saying whatever he thinks sounds good. And she's like, no, he's not. I don't feel like he's doing that. He absolutely is doing that. So she asked if he thought he was really ready to be the man that she needed. And he said no. He said, I'm not ready for marriage. I'm not ready for the things that you're ready for. I appreciate that. But at the same time, why were you even trying to pursue her? I'm just so confused that everything that's going on, honey, this whole season don't make no sense. So she tells him that she would be doing him a disservice by keeping him. So, they're just going to end things here. She didn't tell him he wasn't ready to love, okay? Because she feels that he is. It's just not their time. So she's crying, saying, if she were 33, it would be totally different. I don't think it would. I think when you are used to having relationships filled with chaos, you will always gravitate to relationships filled with chaos until you do the work. So it doesn't matter if you guys are 3 or 33, 33 or 303. You're going to attract what you put out. And you're a beautiful woman, but there's some work that needs to be done. So, baby, before he exits, they share their first kiss and their second kiss. So, honey, I guess not they even. But I was thinking the whole time, when Tony sees that Morgan put her mouth on Linden, woo, child, they're going to be fighting. Then right after that, they're going to be fucking. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what y'all thought about this episode. I thought that this episode was actually very good. I really did. I thought this was a very good episode. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.